Good afternoon, this is Sean Gwill with Paradise Veggies. It is Monday, March 18th. I am here in the garden at my tomato bed with my new sturdier tomato trellis. Now, I want to do a video for my longtime viewers and update you on the slight change I've made to my tomato growing method and introduce my method to more recent viewers. So I do have a trellis that I've built and used. If you don't have the time, space, or are not sure whether you want to build this big of a structure for your garden, I'll tell you what to do in just a second. Now, my trellis that I use is 100% for the above ground support of my tomatoes. It does obviously have a added shading benefit, but I never found with my method that my plants needed shading until well into July and August. But with that said, I never shaded them anyway, so you can go back and watch my videos from last summer and see that I grew tomatoes all the way through the year. Now what I did is I went to Home Depot and I bought this concrete mesh or cloth. I'm not sure exactly what it's used for, and I'll just call it my cages going forward. And it's about $8 at Home Depot or $4 on Craigslist. It's 4 feet wide, it's 8 feet tall, so it's all the height that I'm looking for. And these squares are, I think, 6 feet 6 inches square, and so you can pull a tomato through them if you needed to. And obviously they're a pretty thick gauge, so you can grow your tomatoes up them and not have to worry. Now, if you don't want to have to build a trellis, what you can do is you can buy those landscaping stakes that are about 8, I don't know, you could probably get them for, they're probably about 8 feet tall. Put those in the ground 2 feet, and then you can just lay the mesh across the stake and then just wire it to it, so you have a nice tomato cage that's tall enough to grow tomatoes on, and it's only going to be, I don't know, $5 to $10 in parts. So what I previously did with the concrete or my cages is I hung them in a single line for the length of my tomato bed, and I would plant one variety but 2 plants per cage. So I would get basically 12 plants, right, and 6 different varieties. What I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to plant more tomatoes so that I could experiment with a couple different varieties, different types of tomatoes, cherries or bigger tomatoes or different colored tomatoes. And for anybody who's been gardening for a while, you know that 6 different tomatoes doesn't even cover the range that's out there. The issue that I thought I would have with just doubling or going to 2 lines is that with as much sun as tomatoes need, I thought that 2 lines or 12 plants would shade each other out too much. I didn't know if the soil's fertility could hold that many plants. So what I did is I took a play from my pepper growing method and I offset the cages. So what that means is I have 4 feet growing here, and in my previous method I would have had 2 feet and then I would have started the next cage, 2 feet, and then started the next cage. Well, what I've done is I have taken away that spacing. So I have 4 feet and then I've offset the next cage to the left, and then I start the cage, offset, cage, right? So what that let me do was add 2 cages to my method, or basically another 4 plants, all the while maintaining all my tomatoes to just 1 bed, right? I'm hoping it's going to work, because what I'm thinking is going to happen is the sun will come through here and through here and through there to get these plants, which is essentially what I did with my gardening method last year, but I've gotten rid of the spacing in between each cage. So I have 2 yellow pears here, right, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to be grown out off the edge of the bed. I have 3 Better Boys as an insurance to my plants and making sure that they all grew. Some places I planted 2, some planted 3. I haven't decided whether I'm going to go ahead and pull the extra plants. Over here I have a Super Fantastic. I'm going to try one last year with beefsteak. So there's beefsteak. I'm not sure what varieties right here. Here's my Sunburst tomatoes. And then I know a mid-size tomato, and then I have another cherry variety that I think grows a couple different colors of cherries. And then I planted some bulbs here last fall, so I have some tulips too, so that's kind of cool. Hopefully, I want to see if I can incorporate flowers and vegetables into the same bed, which, because my tomatoes are grown vertically, I think that might be able to work. So there's a mini experiment down there that we'll get to see. I hope you guys like my videos. Post, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful week. Thank you. Bye.